Good morning, this is Bill, and today I'll be going over, giving you a very simplistic overview of a split system AC unit. Out here we have a AC condensing unit. Inside the home you have a air handler. And before you start working, before you even open this panel, I recommend two things. First is come to this disconnect box, okay, right here. Don't be scared. Open it up, and you'll find typically a plastic device. Just pull it out, and that would basically kill the 240 volts coming from the box to your unit. Also, you should always turn off your thermostat inside, because if you do not do that, and you do end up working on this contactor here, there is still 24 volts. So even though you did kill the 240 volts from the disconnect box, you will still have 24 volts coming in from the thermostat if it ends up calling for cooling. Okay, now a outdoor condensing unit is relatively simple. It has very few parts. You have your contactor, you have your capacitor, you have your fan, and down there you can't see it, but you have a compressor. Okay, now a split system AC unit here in Miami, what they do all over the country, their primary job is to remove heat from your home. So most people think that an AC unit creates cold air. Not really. What it does is it removes the heat from your home, thus decreasing the temperature, making your house colder. Okay, so the air handler pulls out your air handler from the inside, takes that heat via the freon, kicks it out here to the outdoor unit. Okay, after the freon goes through the thick pipe, it goes to your compressor, it gets kicked out, it goes all around your coils here. So you have a ring of coils, and those rings of coils disperse the heat, and then the fan's job is basically to get that heat and kick it out into the air. Okay, so the fan's job is again to get the heat being released from the coils and kicking it out to the air. Now this system has two parts to it, obviously the electrical and the liquid end or gas line, which I'll be explaining to you right now. Right here you have your contactor. Okay, on the bottom it receives 240 volts, and on top it lets out 240 volts. Here you have your capacitor. Now a capacitor is kind of like a battery, car battery for both your compressor and your fan. Now this is the number one unit. This is the number one thing I end up changing out on service calls, because they tend to go bad. And these things are not expensive. I get them for about 10 to 15 bucks on Amazon. Very easy change out, not difficult at all. Contactors, I have changed these out, not as much, but they tend to either get rusted, get old, wear and tear from the plunger going up and down, or I've seen cases where there's a power outage or power flux, it ends up ruining the contactor. So I always do change that out as well. Again, this is also an inexpensive piece to change out. And down here you have two lines. The fat line, thicker line, is called your suction line, and this is where the gas from inside your home comes into your system. It feeds into your compressor, and from your compressor it gets spit out into your coils around the AC, and then it comes back out via the liquid line. This liquid line feeds into your indoor unit. Now this liquid line, before it hits your evaporator coils inside your home, it goes through something called a filter dryer. And a filter dryer's primary job is to remove moisture and acid prior to it entering the system. And after the Freon, or your 410A, goes through the filter dryer, it also goes through something called a TXV or piston. You'll either have either or, and then from there it goes into your evaporator coils, and then back out again to your suction line, and it's a cycle. Thank you for watching my video and have a great day.